You know, we always try to stay ahead of the game here at PHNX Sun Devils, but my idea got rudely shut down of doing a private podcast about a private workout only for people in attendance. I guess that's just not going to work out for us.
Happy Friday and welcome into the PHNX Sun Devils Show. I'm Anthony Totri, joined as always by the car seat connoisseur, Erik, Ruby, Emily, Deborah, another Erik, Robert in the chat. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. Rob just became a member. Congratulations, Rob, on your Rob, newfound supporters club membership. You've now got access to members-only content. Of course, you got some brand spanking new emojis. We love to have everybody here, all the Sun Devil fans, ready to talk about some Arizona State athletics, Erik.
What did you just call me?
So we were sitting in the office, and Kevin referred to you as the passenger princess, which I've called you that on this show before.
Very fair.
But I figured there are some days where you're not next to me. You're not next to me in the passenger seat. You're as far away as you could possibly be. You're in the car seat all the way back home. So you're the car seat connoisseur.
I'm your kid that you left at home in the car seat. You forgot to put the car seat in the car, and you're like halfway to the grocery store, and you're
That's
like,
you.
Shit, where's my kid?
Yeah. The car seat connoisseur, or the car seat kid, I could just call you.
Car seat kid feels more accurate because, like, who's a car seat connoisseur? Like, that sounds weird, you know? So, like, it sounds cooler, like, technically speaking, but, like, the definition of it, like, if you were to say I'm a car seat connoisseur, what does that say about you? You know what I mean? Like, what does that say about you? So, you know, I'm going to be honest with you. I think if we're like tiering the 95.
You want to go car seat kid? That's what you want to be? You don't want to be the car seat connoisseur?
They're both down here. Both down here.
One's definitely worse than the other.
Yes. Leche Larry, you know, up there. But yeah, car seat connoisseur, car seat kid. How about we keep those in the back seat for now? Yeah. And we can leave them behind us.
Oh, man. Well, let's step on the gas and let's talk about the guy today, the guy that had his private workout, Jordyn Tyson. We know that there were several tweets going out this morning mentioning just how many NFL teams were going to be in attendance. This one's from Peter Schrager earlier today, saying 18 teams were expected to see potential wide receiver one Jordyn Tyson's workout today in Arizona. That's per Adam Schefter. Rarely have we seen such a significant workout session with such a massive turnout less than a week from the NFL draft. And yes, the Giants are there. Going from Peter Schrager to Matt Miller, tweeting this, per a source, at the Jordyn Tyson workout, the wide receiver prospect ran around, quote, 20 to 25 routes and had just one drop on a dig route. 20 NFL teams had reps at the workout for the likely top 16 pick. Another one from Pete Thamel following the workout, saying, per a source at Jordyn Tyson's workout, he, quote, showed the twitch, explosiveness, and leaping ability we all saw in the fall. He showed he's healthy and still explosive, which is all he needed to do. The contingents from Miami and New York Giants included the GM's Giants pick at 5 and Miami at 11, Erik.
You know, can I do some inside reporting myself here?
You can.
So sources are telling the car seat connoisseur that in order to test
that, Jordyn, by the way, he called himself that.
In order to never say I'm not down for a joke, In order to test Jordyn Tyson's toughness, all 20 front office members surrounded him and beat him with hammers to see how he reacted to it and to see if he was tough. Sources close to the situation tell me that Jordyn Tyson withstood the hammer beating very well, and that's all that GMs needed to see. Look, is any of this surprising at all? Maybe the hammer part, but other than that, no. It is funny though, Totri. We talk about it all draft cycle, where it's like the pendulum kind of swings back and forth between these top prospects. And it's not just Jordyn Tyson, it's everybody, but like right at the end of March, you start to hear just some of the dumbest things you've ever heard in your entire life. And it's like, oh, you've had too much time on your hands. And then you get closer to the draft and it's like, oh, wait, actually, this player's really good. And so it is nice to hear that Jordyn Tyson's private workout went well. It's nice to know that he's healthy. I know that when he didn't, participate in ASU's pro day, it was kind of an interesting conversation of like, well, is he ready to participate in a pro day? I think everything's on the table for Jordyn Tyson. I mean, maybe mid first round, end of first round, worst case scenario, but I mean,
he's a top 10 pick.
Yeah, other than the first 2 picks, first 4 picks, I see Jordyn Tyson being on the board for about.
He's exactly what he's been this whole time. The best damn receiver in the draft. Nothing has changed from the last time he suited up for Arizona State to now. Everyone's just full of a bunch of shit. It's that simple. James Palmer tweeted this earlier today as well about JT, saying, with Jordyn Tyson working out today for teams, it's been interesting to hear scouts and coaches talk about him. You hear comps to OBJ in terms of movement skills and Justin Jefferson with how loose and fluid he is. 2 of the greatest primes that we've seen from wide receivers in the last decade. Then he says there are concerns with the injuries. Some people believe it's connected to a lack of strength. He's not very strong. Is it that easy and correctable or not? Teams are going through that now because the talent is elite. That is the dumbest shit I have ever fucking heard, man. It's Friday, so I'm letting it fly today. This is the dumbest shit out there. Are we for real? Dude almost broke the bench press record for a wide receiver at the NFL Combine. They put 225 on the bar. Jordyn Tyson said, I'm going to push that off my chest 26 goddamn times. And you have people tweeting a week before the draft that he's not strong? What the fuck does strong look like to you then? What are you expecting these wide receivers to do? You just said he looked like OBJ and Justin Jefferson, but he got hurt because he's not strong? He tore his ACL. What does that have to do with strength? He broke his collarbone. What does that have to do with strength? Nothing. He tweaked his hammy. What does it have to do with strength, Erik? Nothing. This is the most asinine NFL draft discussion I have ever been a part of about Jordyn Tyson potentially falling late in the first round. People like Daniel Jeremiah saying, I just don't see it. He's not simply good enough. He's not competitive enough. He's not tough enough. What the fuck are you guys watching, dude? I'm so serious when I say that I feel like I'm a crazy person watching Jordyn Tyson do what he did at Arizona State and then getting to the NFL draft cycle, and experts, these mofos get paid a ton of money to tell you what they think. And you've got even dumber mofos that listen to it and like, yep, sorry, Daniel Jeremiah told me Jordyn Tyson's not a first-round wide receiver. He's just been the most targeted wide receiver in college football the last 2 years. If he would have stayed healthy, he would have shattered every single season record at Arizona State in program history. Sure, he would have done all of those things, but oh yeah, he's not tough. He's not competitive. He gets hurt a lot because apparently injuries are only reserved for people named Jordyn Tyson. It is the dumbest, and I mean the dumbest shit that I have ever seen when it comes to people talking about Jordyn Tyson, and I'm so damn glad that this whole process is about to be over.
Oh, I'm getting more information from my inside sources here. Can you just give me a second? Okay. So, looks like my previous report about the hammers might have been wrong. I'm hearing they did beat Jordyn Tyson with hammers to see if he was actually tough or not. But he actually didn't handle it that well, started crying. And then when he tried to push the Giants GM off of him, he actually broke his arm because he's not strong enough to push a grown man off of him. So really bad news for Jordyn Tyson here leading up to the NFL draft. Look, man, you just hear dumb things. If you watch Jordyn Tyson play football, which unfortunately seems like a little bit of a tall task for everybody involved in this situation here, he's one of the best blockers at the wide receiver position that we saw last year, especially for a star at that position. Like, yeah, dude, he got hurt. Like he's been hurt before. He's not tough. He definitely didn't pull his hamstring and then go back in the game and help ice it against one of the top teams in the country. That dude
Players get hurt all the time. Killimus says he do be getting hurt, though. So did Jefferson. The guy that he was compared to, Justin Jefferson, he messed up his leg. Pretty sure it was a hammy, too. OBJ blew out his knee, won a Super Bowl with the Rams. Jalen Waddle gets hurt. Tyreek Hill gets hurt. Top receivers all across the NFL get hurt. They're really high-level athletes competing at the highest level in this specific sport. They are going to get hurt. The question is, do they put in the time, energy, and effort to rehab and come back? Absolutely. Jordyn Tyson's that guy. I'd rather have Jordyn Tyson on my team than a guy like Rashee Rice who's breaking the goddamn law every other week. I'd rather have one of those receivers. I'd rather spend a high round pick on him versus the other guys who just apparently think that they can do whatever the hell they want. So yeah, give me Jordyn Tyson. Absolutely. Gets hurt. Fucking everybody gets hurt, man. It's sports. If you're not getting hurt, then you're probably not competing at a really high goddamn level.
Earlier today, there was some news that came out about the Seahawks director of equipment telling everybody that Jackson Smith-Njigba was wearing the wrong size cleats at Ohio State, which is why he had so many hamstring injuries in college. Sometimes, getting around an NFL team and having NFL grade, and I'm not saying anything against ASU's medical staff. I'm just saying going around NFL grade medical staffs, well, that'll help, right? I almost have a hard time feeding into all of this. Like I appreciate what you're doing, man, because, I'd say you're doing the Lord's work, but you are saying, the F word a lot, so probably not.
I don't care. I don't care today.
I'm just messing
I really
around.
don't.
I'm just messing around. I just feel like this is kind of par for the course with like draft coverage, where again, every single year we'll just ignore the football players playing football. And I just kind of think to myself, why? I mean, again, think about to this time last year where you and I were sitting here talking about
draft analysts.
Well,
experts.
you and I were,
what the hell does that mean, dude? What the hell? Like, what is your job? What is your job? Genuinely, what's their job, Erik? Their job is to watch the film. Is that not the job? Is the job not to watch it and then talk to them, talk to scouts, talk to coaches, talk to teammates? That's the job, right? Because I don't know, whatever the hell they're doing is not the job of a draft expert, draft analyst. You're analyzing nothing.
I'll just say this. I think Fran does a great job for us. Fran actually watches the film. Fran is somebody who had some opinions on Jordyn Tyson, who maybe had him a little bit lower than most people, and then he really dove into the film and was like, "Never mind." He was like, "This guy's really good."
This is the story of my life, man. I swear to God. Why does nobody listen to the shit that comes out of my mouth ever in any aspect of my life? Huh? How come people can't just sit down, listen to me say something like I haven't been watching every time this guy's laced it up at ASU on Saturdays, every practice since he's been at ASU, since before he was even playing, since he was rehabbing. And I sit up here 3 years after he gets here, says, you know what? Dude's pretty good. Dude's the #1 wide receiver in the draft. Dude's a top 10 pick. Love Fran. Fran looked at me like I had just downed a jar of pure edibles. Like, I'm not lying to you when I tell you he's good, dude. I'm not. Okay? I'm not just up here. I don't have, like, if I ripped off my shirt, you wouldn't see a pitchfork, okay? You wouldn't see Sparky's big ass head tattooed on my chest. I'll tell you, honestly, what he is. He's a dog. He's a top 10 pick. He's the best receiver in the draft, man. Desert Kid, I don't got time for your shenanigans today, okay? Go clean up a porta potty or something. Give your iPad back to your mother and get lost, okay? I don't have time for it today. Jordyn Tyson's that guy. Anybody that says otherwise needs to go see, what is it, optometrist and odometrist. You got to go see somebody that checks your eyes. Get yourself some glasses, an eye patch. I don't care. Fix it, because it is plain and simple, clear as day. It's in whatever religion you believe, okay? On the seventh day, God created Jordyn Tyson, okay? That's what happened. He is a top 10 pick. Anybody that says otherwise, I can't. Just for once, man. Listen to me. Listen to the things that I say. That's all I ask.
Totri, one, I think after this break, I'm just gonna leave. I'm just gonna let you go. I think this is great. I'm just gonna watch. I'm gonna tune in as a viewer, and obviously I'm gonna hit that like button. Two, of all days for me to be remote, it probably shouldn't have been today, because I think I need to give you a hug. There are plenty of amazing real estate agents in Arizona, but there's only one at the top. That is Kim Caballero. And Kim has been in the business for over 25 years, helping Arizona families with both buying and with selling. With a network of investors, builders, and developers, she'll give you insider insight on property potential, helping you see opportunities that others may miss, or most likely will miss. When you work with Kim, your interests are always her top priority, and you'll never get passed off to another agent. She has proven strategies to help buyers and sellers secure the best possible terms, and she'll guide you every step of the way. Kim and her husband have lived in Arizona for over 20 years, and she understands what truly matters when choosing a home. Let Kim put her local expertise to work for you. Call Kim Caballero today at 480-489-5012. That's 480-489-5012.
Look, things are starting to get expensive in the weather. It is trending towards spicy season. It's going to get hot outside. So if you are at all worried about how much you guys are going to pay monthly with our friends over at APS, well, make sure you check out budget billing, because we've all got those times in life when we need to stick to a budget. Maybe you're saving up for a big purchase, maybe a new car, maybe a vacation, and you need all of your monthly bills to be more predictable. Well, you're in luck, because to help out with that, APS has their budget billing program. When APS customers sign up for budget billing, of course, every single month your payment is going to be averaged out over the full year, so that you know what you're going to pay, about the same for your energy bill on a monthly basis. Now, of course, that gives you a more predictable payment, helping you plan and save. You guys can, of course, learn more about budget billing and other options for managing your bill at aps.com/let's talk. Again, make sure you find all your options to manage your bill at aps.com/let's talk.
Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I ran to downtown Phoenix, gave Totri a hug during that break. Hope you're feeling better, Totri, because I'm feeling nervous about tonight. It's Suns and it's Warriors for the play-in finale. And until the Suns are out of the postseason, we're running ourselves a little die-hard sale here at PHNX.
Could be a quick sale.
Yeah, today might be the last day you can get it. Maybe not. Maybe the Suns win, but you don't want to play those games. 32 buckaroos for year one. That's $47 off for the year. You get a free shirt or hat of choice from the store, including this hat, access to the Die Hard Discord, 20% off merchandise and events, a Die Hard welcome kit, and access to Die Hard only articles from everybody. Of course, right now, lots of Die Hard only Suns articles going out there right now as well. I wrote one before the play-in. Gil's got you covered if they do, in fact, make the playoffs. But guess what? You got to be a diehard to see them. That sale might end tonight. I hope it doesn't, but if it does, make sure you get in now. $32 for the year. Go to gophnx.com, click on the Die Hard tab, and get that deal today.
Damn good deal.
Damn good deal. How you doing? You good?
Yeah, I think my heart rate definitely got up there for a little bit. But I feel like I needed to get that off my chest because it's fun in games, the rants, whatever. It genuinely has blown my mind that this has been the discourse around Jordyn Tyson for as long as it has been. Because when we first got into draft prep and draft season, the only knock was what? That he gets hurt, right? That there's injuries. And none of those injuries are like reoccurring things, right? They're all freak accidents. It's not like somebody that like constantly twists their ankle or has a bunch of ankle sprains or has broken a bunch of fingers or any of that, right? Like these are all freak things that he's rehabbed and come back from. And yeah, when a top receiver doesn't perform or run at the combine or do drills, it's not always injury related, right? T-Mac didn't do anything at the combine last year. Why? Because he didn't need to. You needed to turn on the tape and watch what he did in Tucson, and you saw the number one receiver in the draft. Sorry, Travis Hunter, you were never better than Tetairoa McMillan at wide receiver. You just never were, right? It's the same thing this year. Jordyn Tyson said, look what I've done in college football the last however many seasons. I don't need to do all this other stuff. And then when people came calling saying, we had the hammy, maybe he's hiding something, decides he'll do a private workout a week before the draft and shuts everybody the hell up. And you have people still saying, maybe the injuries are related to the fact that he's not strong. What are you talking about? Like at this point, you're just making stuff up. like honestly, like that's why I feel like I got so heated about it is because like genuinely, I've watched this kid since he transferred out of Colorado his freshman season, watched what he did at ASU as a true freshman at Colorado, then watched him like work his ass off to rehab to get back on the field for ASU, absolutely dominate, get hurt again, come back, rehab, dominate again. And then people are still questioning like this guy's ability. Whoever ends up with him, man, is going to get an absolute superstar at wide receiver. We've got a list here. We tell you often, right, Erik, there are two things in life. There are wants and needs. Well, there are two things in the NFL draft. There are wants and there are needs. And here's a look at some of the teams that I think could potentially wind up with a guy like Jordyn Tyson. You've got a handful of teams that I would say need a wide receiver, one, or at least at the very least, need a wide receiver in this draft. I think the New York Jets are an option. Of course, the Giants, the Browns, the Dolphins, the Patriots, the Commanders, and the Saints. They all need a wide receiver. And then I think you look at some teams that you could make the argument, well, if Jordyn Tyson's there, you want this guy. You want to turn in the card. Team like the Chiefs, the Rams, the Ravens, the Eagles, the Steelers, and the Chargers. I didn't include the Raiders in this list, although they could use a wide receiver. There's no way they end up with Jordyn Tyson based off the fact that they got the first overall pick and they're taking Fernando Mendoza. But Erik, I think any one of these teams could be the landing spot for Jordyn Tyson next week.
It's almost like he's really good, and you could see many teams wanting him on their team.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is a bold take, but my take is that Jordyn Tyson, if he is there at 9 to the Kansas City Chiefs, he will not get past that.
God.
I don't think Jordyn Tyson goes any lower than 9 in the draft.
He's first-round receiver. You're not taking Carnell Tate over him. You're just not. And you're not taking Lemon over him either.
And here's the thing, right? And the reason why I say that is with the Kansas City Chiefs, right? You look at what they did last year and you look at, what's their biggest asset, right? It's Patrick Mahomes. Okay. Imagine Patrick Mahomes, a guy who likes to make a lot of off-schedule plays, playing with a wide receiver who thrived with a quarterback where they connected when he did what? Basically do nothing but off-schedule plays.
Yeah.
Now, can Jordyn Tyson thrive with a game manager? Absolutely. Right? Like he could thrive with anybody. That's just how good he is. But when you have a guy like Patrick Mahomes, there needs to be this innate instinct of what do I do when that guy's running out of the pocket and might throw the most crazy, no look, whatever the hell pass he's going to throw. Like you need to have a guy who's reliable to do that, who could do a little bit of everything. And it just feels like if I'm Patrick Mahomes and I'm looking at this last season, looking at where we need to be as a franchise, I want to make sure that like I've got my guy for the next 5 to 10 years, right? Like if I'm going to keep playing quarterback for a long time, I don't want to be cycling through wide receivers, especially ones that do shitty things off the field, right? Like, I want a guy that I know is going to be there. Now, are there injury concerns with Jordyn Tyson? Yeah, there are. Guess what? Every single player who plays on a football field is at a high risk for injury every single day. Like, that's just the way that it goes.
Breaking news.
And maybe Jordyn Tyson's gotten more injured than some other players. Okay, right? Does that mean he's going to get injured in the NFL? No. And then there might be somebody who's never been going through a major injury in their entire life. Does that mean that their first game in the NFL, they're not going to get injured? No. Like, it's just the way that it is. And if I'm a team and I'm looking at, okay, I need to get somebody for my quarterback, whether it's Jackson Dart in New York, right? Or it's Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City. Why the hell would I not draft Jordyn Tyson? Because you want to know one thing you're never going to deal with Jordyn Tyson is, oh my God, he is doing bad things off the field and there are fans who are saying he should be arrested and they want him off the team. That's never going to happen, right? There's no availability issue with that, right? So to me, doing this is good. Doing the private workout is good. Like, he's just good at football. And GMs know it. Scouts know it. Front offices know it. I have a lot of respect for certain draft analysts, Fran being, obviously one of them. But I can't remember the last time that I saw a news release that says NFL front office hires NFL draft analysts from blank network to lead their scouting department.
It happened. It happened. Back when the Raiders, they hired some some dumb.
And how'd that work out?
They hired Mike Mayock to be their general manager.
Yeah.
And they brought in Antonio Brown and John Gruden, and it was a failure. It was an absolute failure. Not to say that draft analysts and experts can't know what they're doing. I think Louis Riddick is a phenomenal, just overall expert and analyst at what he does. I think Peter Schrager is a great, guy to look into when it comes to that type of stuff. And again, they have their moments. Daniel Jeremiah, Charles Davis, all those guys, they do phenomenal stuff. But this has been the most overblown prospect analysis ever. It really hasn't ever needed to be this. It hasn't ever needed to be, is Jordyn Tyson that guy?
Totri, I mean, we were sitting here literally a year ago, and we were talking about Cam Scatterbo and how many people were overthinking it with Cam Scatterbo, right?
Hire us. Just hey, hire me, man. Put me in your damn front office.
We're just sitting here, and we're just hey, we watched this guy play every single snap of football in his Power 4 career, and we think he's going to do really well in the NFL. And so many people overthought it. So many people just were like, oh, well, he's this, he's that, he's this, he's that. Instead of hey, this is what he's done and what he could do. And the Giants got a steal, right? And guess what? Cam Scatterbo didn't deal with a single major injury, right, at Arizona State. Guess what? He got injured in his first year. And that sucks. Does that mean he's going to be bad for the rest of his career? No. Again, it's just insane to use injuries as a thing. Again, if Jordyn Tyson's hamstring was off the bone, and he had been dealing with hamstring injuries for the last 3 years and played 4 games a year, okay, different conversation, right? That's not the conversation that we're having here. Don't overthink it. If somebody does really well on the football field, team's going to draft him, right? That's what's going to happen. I'll cut off my left arm if Jordyn Tyson goes out of the first round. It's not going to happen, Totri.
No, it's not. He's not going to make it out of top 10. It's not a surprise. The most targeted receiver, okay, quarterbacks threw to Jordyn Tyson more than any quarterback threw to a wide receiver in college football over the last 2 years. You think it's a shocker or a surprise that this guy gets hurt? You think that all of a sudden the guy that's getting the ball thrown to him more than anybody else in Division I college football maybe tweaks his hammy and all of a sudden, oh my God, he can't play football.
Well, and Totri,
what?
Totri, the guy's, he's just not a competitor. He's just not.
Can't compete. He's not tough. What else? What else? Dude, what else do we want to say about Jordyn Tyson? Huh?
Jordyn Tyson's breath stinks. He's
got bad hair. He doesn't shower. All of the things. It's the dumbest shit out there, man. So stupid.
Yeah, it's bad. No,
on on the bench pod says, my first time here, I think I'm going to subscribe. Appreciate you. Also
I
says,
would say
I'm
it's not
now,
always like this with the rage, but it is pretty much always like this.
Says, I'm convinced now. Hope my Chiefs take him. Man, as a Chargers fan, I would really, really be I'd be sick. I'd be sick to my stomach. I don't
think any team would be upset about drafting Jordyn Tyson. And that's the thing is, like, there are people who only listen to draft analysts or who only watch NFL football, and like maybe that's your prerogative. That's fine, right? You could do whatever you want to do. And maybe they haven't watched like Jordyn Tyson play football. They just hear the narratives around him. I promise you, whoever's team drafts Jordyn Tyson, it is going to take those fans less than 5 minutes to completely talk themselves into this guy, right? They're going to understand why their team took a, quote, risk, of course, drafting somebody who's injury prone. Like, Totri, man.
Don't forget, he's not just injury prone. He's injury prone, not tough, not a competitor. He's weak.
Right. He got hit by hammers at his private pro day, and he started
all
crying.
All of the things.
Like,
so stupid, man. So fucking stupid.
It's just funny. It's just funny because, like, this happens every year. It doesn't just happen with ASU guys every year, but like this happens every year. Like there's another podcast out there that covers another college team that's had like a top prospect or whatever that's just been torn down, and people are like, "You guys are idiots. You guys are dumb." Right? Like, again, if you want to watch Jordyn Tyson and you only want to focus on the fact that he's had a couple different injuries over his career, if that's how you want to watch football, that's fine. Like,
you're looking at the wrong thing.
That's what I'm saying is, like, if that's what you want to watch, like that's whatever, right? Cool. If that's how you want to watch football, that's fine. I promise you that's not how front offices watch football. I promise you that there's been conversations about the injuries. I promise you that there is probably some concern. I'm not stupid. I'm not blind. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Jordyn Tyson's the healthiest player to ever walk out of college football and into the NFL. But you know how good you have to be for that to not really matter that much? This guy's going to go in the top 10. And if he doesn't, I'm going to be floored. And if he doesn't, guess what? He's going to go in the 3 weeks into the season redraft that the Ringer's going to do. He's going to go in the top 10 for that because it's going to be like, wow, this kid just walked into the NFL and started producing. He's just
so you're saying, and again, we'll do a full mock, maybe a full first round mock on one of the shows next week, prior to just see how many Sun Devils land in the first round. You're going though, Jordyn Tyson, number 9 overall to the Kansas City Chiefs.
I don't think he goes past 9. And if he does, he's not getting past 11. But I think if he's there for the Chiefs, barring like another and here's the thing is like NFL franchises are stupid. Trust me, I know. I'm a Cardinals fan. So like something stupid might happen in the top 10 picks that pushes some of these top players down. And then you're like, okay, well, if this was a normal draft, Jordyn Tyson would have gone here at 9. Chiefs have somebody else that should have gone in the top 5 that's available that they wanted at a key position. They're going to take him. I can't see him getting past Miami at 11, man. Like, he's just so good. I mean, Giants at 5, I think is so fascinating, right? Because they do need a wide receiver, right? And yeah, there's the ASU connection, but like, they should trust an ASU player by this time. And again, like Jackson Dart needs a wide receiver. You have Malik Neighbors. So when Malik Neighbors is back, him and Jordyn Tyson next to each other is just an incredibly dangerous duo with Cam Scadaboo back there at running back. Like, we're looking at maybe one of the most explosive offenses in the NFL as long as Jackson Dart can keep his head on his shoulders.
Yeah. No, what do you got? You're obviously big part of the PHNX Cardinals squad. How do you feel the draft shakes out for Jordyn Tyson?
I could see him falling in Kansas City, but I really see him in a Saints jersey.
Saints jersey.
I really think that's
the number 8 overall.
I think if he falls, or well, I guess that's kind of his range, but like I don't know if he makes it past 8. I think the Saints look at him and they're like, we gotta take this guy.
I think that's fair. I think you both have him going in the top 10. Erik, number 9 to the Chiefs. You got him number 8. I'm gonna go even higher. I'm gonna say he's a Cleveland Brown, and I know that sucks. I don't want to see it. I really don't. But you're talking about a team that needs help in the passing game. They just hired Todd Monken to be the head coach, former OC for the Ravens, former OC for the Georgia Bulldogs. Somebody that's an offensive-minded guy. They have a lot of different directions they could go, but if it is Shedeur Sanders' show to run, if it is Deshaun Watson coming back or whoever is going to take place at quarterback, I'll tell you one thing for damn sure. Jerry Jeudy is not the number one wide receiver for the Cleveland Browns, or at least he shouldn't be. You need to have a true number one there. I've seen a lot of Carnell Tate to the Browns, but if Tyson has solidified himself as the number one wide receiver, there's no reason that Jordyn Tyson shouldn't be the first receiver off the board. I think the first team, realistically, in my mind, that could take a receiver is the Browns. I see the Giants going defensive, but that's just me. I know they had a GM out there today. They had a GM out at the full ASU Pro Day as well. So they have been big on sending really that whole contingent of the front office to come check out Arizona State. I don't know. I'd love for him to not land on a shit team like the Browns, but I just feel like if we're talking a team that needs a receiver early in the draft, why isn't Cleveland being mentioned here?
I think it's fair.
So that's my thoughts.
Think I don't want him to go to the Chiefs because I don't like the Chiefs. I know that you don't like them even more than I don't like them, but like, is that not objectively the best spot for him in the top 10?
In the top 10, yeah. Yeah, 1,000%. I mean, he's not going to go to the Bengals, but that feels like a very Rams type situation too, where, you know, he could go play with a bunch of other amazing wide receivers and Joe Burrow. I don't think he lands there. So, yeah, I think Kansas City's the best option at the earliest point in time. Miami needs a number one wide receiver, like you said. I don't think he gets past 11. I would agree with that. If for some reason he does get past 11, I don't see him getting past 14 with the Ravens. Like there's just no way we're talking about somebody that's going to fall outside of the top 15. It's just not going to happen. I get this is a class kind of with premier players at weird positions, right? Like a Stunny Styles, a Caleb Downs. Those guys will all go early, but don't think that wide receiver is not always a premier position when it comes to the NFL draft. And especially when we're talking about a position where there's 3 bona fide first round guys. And now there's already talk of like, hey, maybe a Denzel Boston comes and sneaks in the first round. I've seen, I want to say like an Omar Cooper sneak in the first round as well. So Jordyn Tyson's getting picked in top 10, whether you like it or not. But I think we can put a nice bow on the Jordyn Tyson conversation 40 minutes in. And of course, we'll maybe revisit it. Maybe I'll get out whatever left I have to scream next week when we do a little mock draft. But we're going to transition gears from football to basketball on the other side of our second break. If you've been at an Arizona State sporting event recently, maybe you're at a football game in 2025, maybe you've been out at Muni checking out Sun Devil baseball, one thing is for sure, you guys have seen a ton of branded Bills Arizona State hats. I know Rubus has what feels like an entire collection of branded Bills ASU hats to this point. I think I've got maybe the best one in the Valley, of course, with the Sparky logo that's completely iced out, all white. Branded Bills, they've got the best headwear in the game, whether you need snapbacks, truckers, fitteds, beanies, or tees. Branded Bills, they've got you covered with performance and style. And if you guys are looking for some gear to set your own personal brand apart from the crowd, they've got you covered with the best custom headwear in the game as well. Start your order and their dedicated team is going to help you create the exact custom apparel that you need. Make sure you head to brandedbills.com and use that code BBPHNX15 for 15% off your first order.
Totri, I can sell you this thing with just one word.
Okay.
Tequila.
Where do I sign?
Well, here's the thing. You're going to sign and you're going to love new Casamigos ready to go margaritas. That's right, baby. Casamigos is here, ready for the World Cup or any other sporting event coming up with a new ready to enjoy Casamigos margarita made with the best simple ingredients. That's Blanco tequila, lime juice, and natural flavors. They're sure to rival any of your favorite hangout spots. Just uncork, pour over ice, and garnish with a lime. Boom. You're enjoying deliciousness. Boom. Just 110 calories per serving with real juice and Totri. Look, I'm more of a plain Jane over here. I'm more of a classic lime flavor guy myself, but I know you like to get spicy. They have a spicy, ready to enjoy margarita from Casamigos just for you. That's right, Casamigos, the drink of the World Cup. Whether you're at your favorite spot or stocking up at home, make it Casamigos ready to enjoy new margarita.
Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts. Raymond in the chat says, for the sake of Erik's arm, I hope we are all correct. Let's hope so. Otherwise, it is going to be a very bloody show on Friday.
Members only video. Members only video.
Yeah, that'll be tough. That'll be tough. Rubus, ASU men's basketball. We've talked about it over the last couple of days, specifically the idea around Paulus Morauskas transferring to ASU. That news still is not official at this point in time. Still no updates in terms of incoming transfers for Arizona State. This is what the roster looks like as it stands right now, April 17th. Of course, you've got the addition of Marcus Vaughns from LSU, Nate Garcia, the 7-footer from Cal Baptist, Emmanuel Innocenti from Gonzaga. You have J. Rob Croy, who flipped his commitment from St. Mary's to ASU once his dad was hired at ASU. And then in terms of returners, Bryce Ford and VJ Wallace are the two Sun Devils looking to run it back, at least at this point in time. No declarations for the transfer portal quite yet. So, Rubus, still a lot of spots to fill on this roster. We know the Sun Devils have been tied to a couple different players in terms of visits. Talk about a guy like Dylan Shaw. Paulus Morauskas is another one that we've, talked about just about every day. Andrew Meadow. Shane doesn't have to worry about Andrew Meadow coming to Arizona State because he committed to Oregon, which was the place that he visited after ASU. So good enough for the Oregon Ducks, not good enough for Shane Diefenbach. But still kind of waiting, right? We know Joel Foxwell was set to visit here. Lenhart is another one. You got to start filling some of these spots, Erik, and I'm interested to see if it is maybe a little bit of a waiting game around some of the top shelf talent still available in the portal.
Yeah, because if you can or cannot get Paulus Morauskas, that's going to affect what you can or cannot pay everybody else. And what you don't want to do is fill out your roster like you're going to get Paulus Morauskas, and then you don't get him. And now you have to pivot, and now you built a roster around another star. And what you also don't want to do is not offer guys because you think you're going to get Paulus Morauskas, and then you don't get Paulus Morauskas. Like, what are you going to do? Right? So you're kind of like in this waiting game of like, it has to be him. I can't see any other star level player really coming to Arizona State at this time, which I feel like also gives Paulus and his agent, I don't know if he has an agent, I'm assuming he has an agent, a lot of leverage, unfortunately, which means that they're going to probably try to get as much money as possible because it's like, what are you going to do if it's not me? I'm not nervous yet because we haven't seen smoke for other schools. Like, there are people saying, oh, maybe Duke's going to go get him. I don't see any legitimate smoke around Duke. Obviously, the Louisville smoke, it has been there, but we haven't seen kind of a pickup of like Louisville's back in the running and ahead of Arizona State. So like, I'm not worried about that yet. I won't be worried until I hear like, ooh, Paulus Morauskas has maybe changed his mind. But it is one of those things where like, you got to get this done because you do have to fill out the rest of this roster. And some of the other players that you're looking at are decent players that will have other places to go. Like we talked about Andrew Meadow. It's like, yeah, I guess Oregon wants him. That's not a bad program, right? So it's like, I'm sure, Joel Foxwell and Trevin Lienhart, like these are guys that other programs want too, right? And so you've got to move relatively quickly here. Hopefully by the end of the weekend, if we get into Monday and Tuesday and that still hasn't happened, I'm going to be starting to get concerned.
Yeah. Look, you've got 6 guys on the roster going into next season at this point in time. Okay. Let's transition over to La La Land real quickly. 6 guys. 7 is Paulus Morauskas. 7 is Joel Foxwell. 8 is Dylan Shaw. 9 is Trevin Lienhart, right? You still have at that point a handful of spots to fill. And I think for me, if we're assuming that Arizona State is able to land some of these other pieces, the immediate next point that you need to fill is big man. Because with all due respect to Nate Garcia, the 7-footer from Cal Baptist, you don't have a guy right now on this roster or even in the conversation around potential transfers of a true big for Arizona State that can play the center position that has done it, right? Nate Garcia came off the bench for Cal Baptist, and at that didn't do a ton. I'm sure he's a solid player. I'm sure, they think he's going to be something at ASU. Otherwise, they wouldn't bring him along from Cal Baptist to ASU. We just haven't seen it yet. And if you're going to try and raise the floor of what you did last year in the Big 12, while it's nice and fun to have the idea of a Paulus Morauskas, and again, we're assuming that they are able to also land Dylan Shaw and some of these other very capable players, which would be awesome. It was still the one flaw that we really had when we were kind of dissecting what a potential starting five would look like for ASU. We feel good with some of the weapons and players that you could have, whether that's a Lenhart starting at the 1, Innocenti starting at the 2, or a Shaw starting at the 3, or maybe that's interchangeable with Morauskas at the 4. You still don't have somebody at that center spot. So for me, that feels like immediately the next point where Randy Bennett and this staff have to look around this portal and be like, okay, we need somebody that not only gives us that size and length, but also kind of fits the system in which we like to run.
Yeah, I agree that you would need another big, even if Nate Garcia is starting for you, which I mean, I'm not going to rule out here. I wouldn't expect it. You would still need another big, I think. I
think you probably still need 2 bigs.
Morauskas can play a little small ball 5. I think Marcus Vaughns is like 6'8", 6'9", super athletic. So maybe that's your other big there off the bench. The thing with the center position, though, is that it's the easiest to fill in. And I say that respectfully because if you're a superstar center, you completely change the game. But if you have a good point guard who's a good facilitator, and a good shooting guard who's a shooter and a 3-and-D player, and then a lanky shot creating small forward, and then your star is the power forward that's going to get all the touches in the paint, be the post player, be the guy the offense runs through down low. All you need from your big guy is to stand in the dunker spot, space out a little bit, and clean up the mess, right? Set some good picks, drive to the rim. If they can stretch out for a 3, that's a huge bonus that you probably don't expect in college. So if center is the last position they fill out, I'm not too worried about it. Just go get yourself an athlete, right? Because if the roster is who we're talking about, which I think also if we need to be honest here and probably realistic, I don't know if you're going to get all 4 of Foxwell, Leonhardt, Shaw, and Morauskas. I just don't see that happening. It feels like you're at worst going to get one of the 4, at best get 3, with Shaw feeling like probably the longest shot since Morauskas is the best player, but has actually been linked here. There's he's had a visit, Shaw has, but he hasn't been like linked to actually following Randy Bennett here. Foxwell and Leonhardt feels like that could definitely happen and that they can come together too and play together. So Z-Man says it seems like a lot of money. I think it seems like a lot of money too. Seems like ASU is going to be dealing with a decent amount of NIL money. I think they want to win. Obviously not the best in the Big 12, but a competitive amount. And I think that's why everything's waiting on Paulus. But if you end up getting those 4 guys, then maybe Nate Garcia can start. I don't care. You get those 4 guys. You get those 4 guys plus Bryce Ford off the bench. You don't really know what VJ Wallace is going to do. I'm feeling good about the team next year.
Yeah. Again, it's what we discussed yesterday. In my mind, it still hinges on landing Paulus Morauskas.
Yes. I mean, that's the thing. If it's the other 3 or it's 1, I think you still take Paulus. As much as you want Dylan Shaw and the other guys, and maybe it would make you a better team. I do think there's something to be said about, as a program, making a statement and going out there and getting a top 10 player in the portal.
In this conference, right? It's all fine and well to have a solid team, rounded out. If you don't have a star in the Big 12, good luck trying to finish in the top 8. It's just not going to happen. It's too top heavy of a conference with Kansas, Arizona, Iowa State. The list goes, Houston. The list goes on and on and on with some of these just juggernauts in the Big 12. You saw it in the NCAA tournament. If you don't have a star, you're not going to be able to succeed at a high level. You can be fine. You can be average. But for Arizona State, Paulus Morauskas is the guy you absolutely need. Again, all expectation is still that Arizona State lands Paulus Morauskas. It's just a matter of time for that commitment to actually come down. So, of course, we're going to keep everybody updated on on social, PHNX _ Sun Devils, as it relates to ASU men's basketball and realistically everything that's going on with ASU. So make sure you give the show a follow not just on Twitter, but on Instagram and on TikTok as well, PHNX_Sun Devils. It is a Friday, Erik. So we are going to be ripping a little hot or not today, which I think could be a lot of fun given the way that the show started. But we're going to do so on the other side of our final break. Everybody give yourselves a round of applause. You made it to Friday. That's right, which means it's time to celebrate. And who else are you going to celebrate with other than our friends over at Pure Edibles? If you're looking to take your TV show, your favorite TV show, to the next level, maybe you're trying to hang out by the pool or just hang out, maybe watch a sporting event at home, regardless of what you're doing, Pure Edibles, it is going to amplify it, especially their uplifting gummies. But maybe you're somebody that doesn't want to indulge in the uplifting effects of Pure Edibles. Maybe you just have a tough time sleeping. Well, you can check out Pure Edibles sleep support gummies. Those work just as good. Of course, we're talking about Erik here. The effects are clearly listed on each tin, so you know exactly what effects you guys can expect. There's no more guessing when it comes to gummies, and they taste like candy. I don't know how many times I got to tell you this. They taste like candy. They don't taste like weed at all. That's why they are the perfect gummy out there. Make sure you go find yourself some Pure Edibles products from one of the over 150 dispensaries across Arizona now, including True Leaf.
Totri, you want to know where I got this shirt?
The Fanatics app?
You're damn right, the Fanatics app, because I can get everything at the Fanatics app. In fact, I just got a Fanatics gift card for my birthday. Not to brag, but the Fanatics app is an all-in-one destination for every part of your sports fandom, my sports fandom, everybody's sports fandom. You can get official gear for your favorite teams and players, including the latest drops, exclusive releases, and must-have merch all in one place. Of course, also vintage merch as well. You know that
I have a question.
Okay.
I don't mean to interrupt, but I have a question.
Okay. Go ahead.
I was told by a source that you can play games and earn like Fanatics cash.
Oh, you love games. I know you do, Totri.
I love games.
And guess what? That is exactly what you
It's
can
true?
do. Play free daily games in the app to earn fan cash, where you can spend on jerseys, game tickets, collectibles, and more. It's not just merchandise. It's everything you need to be a fan, all in one place, all built for fans like us. Download the Fanatics app and start cashing in on your fandom. App access open to all. 21 plus to play those games. No purchase necessary. US only. Void where prohibited.
Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. Friday, so it is hot or not. Noah, let's not waste any time here. Let's get straight into it. You have a question?
No, can I submit a special fourth hot or not first?
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, if it would be first, right? It wouldn't be fourth.
Hot or not, ASU baseball. I'll answer not. Okay, Noah, go ahead.
Okay.
Not hot. Not hot at all, actually.
First, or I guess second, hot or not, crash outs about top-rated wide receiver prospects.
Super hot.
Hot.
Super
flaming
hot.
Yeah.
You need to, right? Like we all needed that today. We all needed to see me get red in the face and scream about,
It's been a while.
Yeah.
It's been a while since
it has.
we had Totri crash out.
It was needed. I needed it today. Everybody needed to hear me say that.
It was good stuff.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. So you're saying it's hot too then?
No.
You're saying it's not hot?
No, I'm kidding. Of course it's hot. That'd be
go off
on
another rant about how it is.
No, it's just like that's actually the worst piece of content we've ever done here at PHNX.
Yeah, I'm actually extremely embarrassed.
Z-Man says scorching indeed. Love it. What do you got for topic number 2, Noah?
All right.
Or 3, I guess.
Yeah. Topic number 3. Folding wallets. Like like wallets that fold out kind of like a book, like you're opening pages.
Yeah, like a regular wallet.
Like a regular wallet.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm gonna say a regular wallet.
What are the other options for a wallet?
Like a clip wallet, one with like a money clip and maybe some slots for cards, or like you see those metal ones that people walk around with that just basically hold cards and like a money clip.
Do you have one of these?
Yeah. Here. Do you want to see it?
Yes.
Can we put Noah's card information on the screen?
Jeez. So it doesn't open at all.
No.
You know what I'm noticing?
fits in the pocket nice. Hey.
Dude, don't put that on screen. Dude, Totri. Oh, my God.
I'm going to have to cancel that card. Thanks.
No, you couldn't see all of it.
Yeah, you showed the whole thing.
Did I?
Yeah.
No shot.
Yeah.
No shot.
100%.
Here, catch.
Thanks. All right. There goes that.
I'm going to go not hot because you could just do something like that. You could just, it's too accessible for everybody.
Oh, my God.
I got to go back and see. There's no way, dude.
God, Totri.
Let's see. Oh, no, yeah, you're right. You're right. I did.
It was in focus, too. Oh, my God.
Not
dude.
hot. Not hot.
That's bad. It's bad. Let's see.
He's canceling his card right as now, as we speak. So, Erik, hot or not? I apologize, Noah. I didn't mean to dox you like that.
That's all right. I'll just have no money for the weekend. No.
Well, do you want to continue, Erik, or are you just gonna sit there, or are we gonna end the show?
Yeah, man, this is on me. Regular wallets are hot. I use a regular wallet. Yeah, I cannot believe that just happened.
Manage cards and devices. Card status. Deactivate card.
You could. Are you going back and looking at it, Erik?
No, I saw it in real time.
Yeah, no, we're good. I'm gonna say it's hot. All right.
Yeah.
Topic number 3.
Yeah.
Smartwatches.
Not hot. The worst kind of watch. It's silly. You just have a normal watch. Be a normal person. You don't need to text people off your wrist. Doesn't need to be a thing.
I agree.
Yeah, I've worn a smartwatch before, and like every time I'll wear it for like a couple of weeks, and I'll be like, I don't need this.
It's just not something anybody needs. It's an extra like $1,000 for right. How much are Apple Watches?
They're not $1,000.
Let's see.
They're probably like
somebody's probably
400.
buying one with Noah's card information right now.
Oh, it's you can get high-end models for $1,400.
That's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. Normal watches, hot.
Yes.
Other watches, not hot. You're on the same page, Noah?
Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised because you're you're active, outdoorsy,
Yeah.
You can track everything.
I don't need to track anything.
No, you don't need to track nothing.
I'm out.
Yeah, I'm outside. I'm walking.
Yeah.
Love that for you. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today's episode. This podcast today had literally everything that you could possibly ask for. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. You can follow the show at PHNX Sun Devils across social. You can follow me at Anthony Totri. You can follow the Car Seat Kid at Erik Ruby. That's Erik with K. Don't worry about following Noah. He's at his local bank. We will see you guys next week. In the meantime, go Devils in peace.
We all silly like the mayor.